And now we are back with another episode of Haven's House of Horror. I am your ghost host, Alex Havens, and I am here with a wonderfully, splendidly fucking talented actress and one of House of Flies' very own, Amanda Medlin. How are you, my dear?
Oh, I'm fantastic and so excited to be here. How are you?
I am doing good. I'm exhausted. That's why I'm literally just here slouched in a hoodie and comfy pants because I have been traveling for almost a week now, and I am just now getting back home from Louisville for the tour, and then I had another trip to Chicago for 3 days for business, and I'm tired.
I've been stalking you on social media and looking at all the wonderful pictures that you've been putting up of the tour. Yay.
I know. Isn't it crazy? Isn't that crazy?
It's so exciting to see everyone's reactions.
I know. And the creature was just such a hit. Like, we did not expect the response that we got to the design. And Gavin, of course, just went out there and nailed it because he just...
Of course he did.
Puts everything into what he has. Oh my God. Who is that?
That's my dog. That's Matilda. And she's probably going to be coming in and out of frame. Matilda. There's her tail.
Like, is that what she...
No, that's actually literally who she's named for. We have a long and colorful... Yes, we love Matilda. My kids grew up, listening to this story. I would read them the book. And then my daughter and I were in Matilda, separate productions of Matilda. She played Matilda and I played Miss Honey.
No shit.
Different productions.
You were Miss Honey?
I was Miss Honey.
That is so you. That is so you, Amanda. Oh my God, I'm so upset that I was not around at this point in your life to have witnessed this.
I feel like I've come a long way since then. That was way back in 2019, pre-COVID. And I was just a lot more innocent at that time in my life.
Oh, okay. So COVID really did a number on you then, like it did pretty much all of us.
Well, nah. I don't.
Nah. Yeah.
I mean, it did, but not in any creative sense.
Right. We're moving forward from that. We're trying to move forward from that.
We're trying to. We are. I think we're doing an admirable job. Here we are, virtually meeting.
I know. Gosh, we're right on our way, aren't we? Because the economy is so shit that we can't afford to meet in person for these kinds of things. So
it's okay.
Don't you just love it? we still have ways to connect with each other. That's what's important.
We do, and who knows? I may never have met you if it hadn't been for the technology that arose due to COVID.
That's true. If COVID, and you know what, Amanda, and I can tell you definitively, you would not have, because COVID was part of what sparked me getting back into acting on camera and filmmaking altogether. So
you know what? I can say same.
So look at that. We were on similar journeys where we're parallel to each other. We just couldn't see each other through the woods yet.
We were destined to meet, and here we are.
I know, to work on a horror film, which we're doing right now. And I've been wondering, Amanda, what is your relationship with horror anyway? Obviously you do horror films well, based off of our script read that we did, but
I enjoy horror films, but I will tell you that I would much rather be in them than watch them most of the time because...
Okay.
I think allowing myself to be immersed in the world of the horror, gives me anxiety. I love a good ghost story, though.
Yes.
I like the nemesis that you can't see. You never really know what it is.
Yes.
And then when you find out what it is, sometimes that's disappointing. So I'd rather just not see it.
That's true. When you are left to your imagination, there's a lot that you can fill in for yourself. And I think that's part of why. Did you ever read those Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark books?
Oh my goodness. Obsessively. Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Like those were like quintessential ghost stories. And yeah, they gave you like illustrations for them, which were iconic. Those illustrations were fucking iconic. There was so much that was left to the imagination. And for children's books, they were like very visceral, like descriptively grotesque.
They were. They gave kids a lot more credit for being able to handle it.
Oh, agreed. 100%. I was like, they're not treating me like the child. I want something scary. They're giving me something scary. I feel like, especially as growing up, children's books and scary stories, they were always very like cutesy. There was something like something that makes it not so scary at the end. You know what I mean?
Sanitized a little bit.
Yes, yeah. Sanitized. Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. And I think that's something that I really appreciated as a child, especially. That kind of, I guess, was a mature child. I was very much into reading at a very, very young age. So I was reading at an advanced age very early on. And it was very evident to me by like 3rd and 4th grade, like, these were written for kids. Like, what am I doing? Yeah. I don't want to read these right now. But then I found those books and I was like, this is fucking scary. Maybe I could go for like a Judy Moody book real quick. Like, maybe I need to take a step back and remember my roots because these were really intense, but at the same time, I will absolutely give some credit to Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark for giving me such a demented mind.
Heck yeah.
Wanting to tell really messed up stories like the one that we're doing together right now. And since you're not so much interested in watching horror films and being in them, and you did finally get the opportunity to sit down with everyone and be in that world, how did it feel?
Oh, it feels empowering.
Yeah.
To be involved, from the bottom up in creating a world that scares people.
Yeah.
Because how all the cogs fit together, how it works. And
yeah,
it's kind of magical, kind of cool.
It is really cool. And when you got into this, or you were cast, and when we were scheduling things, obviously you love the stage and you love performing in theater. So what does that process look like, transitioning, your skills as a performer on stage into the role of Tara?
When you are translating stage acting to camera acting, there's a whole lot of different muscles to use, which I'm still kind of discovering.
Yeah.
But when you're talking about the horror genre, there's a whole lot to draw from having been on the stage because everything is so heightened when it comes to horror films.
Yeah.
And, having that skill set already, I feel like kind of put me in a place where like, oh, I understand this. I understand how to make this, come alive.
When it comes to Tara specifically, when you were going through the table read, I mean, I recognize that you can still see that stage performer in your performance, but it's definitely molded to fit a camera performance. There's almost like a musicality to your performances, Tara.
Oh, wow.
And I'm wondering, is that intentional? Like, was those kind of flares for dramatic something that you thought important to weave into her character? Because honestly, it was very much like you got the frenzied. I'm trying not to go into too much, I don't want to give anything away, but there's
right. Yeah. No spoilers.
Yes. No spoilers, but you have this very, and it seems intentional, this musicality, this flair, but it's muted by something that I think, you and I both know what it could be. And I'm just wondering, is that like, was that your whole intent the entire time? Did you or was this just something that came with your skills? You know, your natural flair.
I think it may be a combination of a lot of different factors, but I just see Tara as a person who is trying desperately to claw back some control in her life. And sometimes that desperation just comes through. It comes out of her pores, whether she wants it to or not.
Yeah.
And I do feel like that's, just my experience having been on the stage for so many years.
Yeah.
It kind of naturally is going to be a little bit bigger, I think.
That makes sense.
I'm trying not to be ridiculous and melodramatic about it, but
no, I love it. I live for the melodrama. Okay.
And and horror films are melodrama. I mean, they just are.
They are.
You know, the stakes are through the roof, and
that's such a good point. I never really considered it that way, but horror films as a genre are very much melodramas. You know, it's fear inflated.
They're just theatrical by nature.
Like, and it kind of ties into how it can be so successful even when it's not of the highest quality, you know, even when the writing isn't great, even when the performances aren't great, even when
we go into it expecting there to be a certain level of melodrama. And so we have a different set of expectations when we go to a horror film, as far as what kind of acting we're going to experience, what kind of storyline we're going to experience. And I like that as an audience, we sort of let down our cynicism, our guard, you know, when we walk into a horror film. We're just like, we're here to have fun and be scared a little bit. And the script doesn't have to have a multitude of subtleties and, you know, Oscar-worthy performances for it to be a really high quality experience.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and I think that's what's part of what makes horror so accessible too. You know, there's literally something, even though it is, you know, considered a rather niche genre, but also very popular at the same time. There's so many multitudes of horror that just vary on this very wide scale. It's all melodrama.
And the fan base is so devoted, are they not? I just love that. You can't find that anywhere else. That particular really culture is so specific and fantastic. Like,
yeah, it is, and it's so accepting too, which is something, you know, obviously that while it's not what any part of the story is about, was always something that I was setting out to do with House of Flies, is make it more like give visible representation that is actually not rooted in identity and trauma, and just the fact that like people just are people, y'all. Like, they exist the same exact way as any others. They face the same kind of struggles. Like, this is human nature you're seeing. It doesn't matter.
Well, and you know, that approach that you took really was fantastic, and I loved. It reminded me of one of my favorite series is Schitt's Creek. And
Amanda, I have to tell you, I have Schitt's Creek on downstairs right now.
Do you really?
Yes, it is playing on my TV right now downstairs. And it's so crazy that you say that, because the first time that I ever met Cayman, after he read the script, that is exactly the same exact thing. Like, exact. What you just said was that he appreciated the approach being very similar to Dan Levy, and which, you know, it's just not talked about. It's not a thing.
It doesn't need to be a thing because it's as normal as anything else.
All these characters are so, in a way, they're stereotypes, you know, but they're also like anti-stereotypes. So the way that everything is portrayed, especially with Tara, and I keep wanting to go into it, but I know we can't because there's so many layers to Tara.
We can suffice it to say that Tara, just like everybody else pretty much that you have written, has a backstory.
Exactly. So and without giving anything away, tell us about Tara from the eyes of the actress inheriting the role.
Well, let me see what I can say without giving too much away. She has come from this is a specific point for her in a very long journey that we meet Tara.
Right.
You get the impression that she was much more optimistic earlier in her journey. And she is suppressing a lot of huge feelings that will eventually need to be dealt with, but she hasn't dealt with them yet. Is that saying too much?
No, that doesn't say much at all. And I really appreciate that. And also, when I was writing everything and obviously getting into the psychology of all these characters, I am very, and I'm sure maybe you can actually relate to this as somebody who performs theatrically. I'm musically influenced, you know? So when I'm going through things, obviously I actually, you know, we put out the official House of Flies playlist, which is like a bunch of stuff that I was listening to while writing.
I really enjoyed going through that because I was like, okay, this informs a whole lot now that I've listened to this.
Right. You're like, oh, okay. You're like, I'm you're like, I see now. I see.
I do.
But yeah, no, I'm glad that you had fun with it. I had, you know, I was like, well, this is a fun little gimmick, you know, to do.
I think it's great. And it's really especially helpful for the actors because that gets me in an excellent headspace.
So that's exactly what I was going to ask is, do you personally, hi Matilda, bye Matilda.
We'll wander in and out of frames. I told my husband, hey, could you put her up before we do this podcast? And he's like, sure.
No, she needs to make her special guest appearances. Yeah. But do you, whenever you're getting into a character's headspace, you know, if you want to talk specifically about Tara, do you have any go-to songs or even, you know, for certain emotions that you have to invoke? Do you have certain playlists for those? Or is music not really an influencing factor for you?
It's definitely an influencing factor. But I haven't done that as much for Tara. I've been doing a whole lot more journaling.
Okay. Yeah. That definitely aligns, you know, especially with the very classic feel that we're going with for the film. So journaling definitely feels right up her alley.
I do think that I will eventually put together a playlist. I just have not done that yet.
Oh, okay. Well, whenever you do, I want to hear it because that would make me so happy. That would make me so happy. I'm always just so fascinated with seeing how other people interpret things that I write, you know, and especially in a filmmaking sense, because actors get so connected to the role on an intimate and personal level themselves, you know, so it's kind of like a shared connection, which I don't know if I feel like not, you can tell in a film when the director and the actors are disconnected from one another, you know?
Yeah.
And I think we've been really blessed with an ensemble that is like deeply all on the same page with each other. When we went through that script read through, I was just me, Katie, Jenna, Chris. We were all just texting off camera, just like, holy shit, they are killing it. Holy shit, they are killing it. So it's just, how do you find that it's easy to get that connection when you're on set with other actors or directors, or do you feel like it's kind of more of a work, you know, a work in progress type thing?
I think it just varies from set to set. I have walked onto sets and immediately connected with everyone, and then I've had my work cut out for me and others. But that is something else that I have really appreciated so far about our group. Everybody seems to really be on the same page, and we are in communication, you know, outside of this job, and
yeah,
texting and messaging folks on Instagram. Hey, what do you think about this? And
see, and I love that. I love how collaborative everybody is, even while we're still in the progress of getting everything into motion, into production.
It's pretty ridiculous when you think about how long that it's been since we started this journey. And, the very first audition that I walked into, and we have just been, we haven't even started filming yet, but I feel like we've been together a lot longer than a lot of productions are.
I know. And it's very, and I've recognized that too, that we're very unconventional, we're definitely very unconventional in terms of other productions, but I think that's what's really going to make the passion translate on screen is that all of us were here from bottom up, like when we say grassroots movement, this is the definition of a grassroots movement. And I think it's really, and it's very, very, we're all very, very lucky and grateful of that. You all have talent, have stuck with us, as we get through this grueling journey together.
We're all in at this point. We've got both feet in there,
Right, exactly. I mean, at this point, otherwise it's just a fucking waste of time. So
I've invested so much hope.
Yeah. Right, exactly. I'm not just giving up now. So that's pretty much where I'm at too. Like I've told Chris, Katie, Jenna, I'm like, look, I've invested almost 2 years of my life into this now. I have asked so much of all of you. There's no way we're fucking giving up now. There's no way. So
can you hear my dumb dogs?
Yeah, wait, dogs. How many are there?
I have 2. I also have a Yorkie. She's actually the mouthy one.
What's her name?
Hazel. Hazel is 10 years old and cantankerous and hates everything.
Oh, bless her.
She's a cranky old lady, but she's earned it.
That's fair. I mean, look, I said it before. I cannot wait until I am a senior because nobody gives a shit about how you behave or what you do. Like,
I feel that I give fewer shits with every passing year of my life, and I can't love that more.
No, I also feel the same exact way. And I think that's part of how I ended up here too. Because I was like, what the fuck? Why do I care so much about what other people think about me? Why do I care? I have a lot to say. I have opinions on things. Give me a microphone. Because every white man needs a microphone. I had a question. So, especially in theater, actors are very superstitious.
Yes, indeed.
Are you that kind of actor? And what superstitions do you have?
I like to pretend that I'm not that kind of actor, but I super am. So I was in the production of the Scottish play a couple of years ago, and every time that I had to say it or mention it, and we weren't even performing on a stage, technically, we were outdoors, but every time someone said the title of the show, something inside me would just die a little.
Oh.
Yeah. So you know which play I'm talking about, right?
I don't know.
Oh. It's Macbeth.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. How was that? Because the only experience that I have with Macbeth is reading it in AP Lit. And then in Scream 2, when she does Macbeth.
I am not seeing this. What?
Really?
I'm not.
It was scary.
I've got to see it.
Scary.
It was scary as in like really bad or?
No, it was really well done.
Oh.
Yeah, it was really well done. It was kind of supposed to represent like an anxious meltdown.
Oh.
And she's like seeing all these different faces and she thinks she sees Ghostface in between them and stuff. Oh, it was really good. Oh. It was really good. You'll have to look it up or I'll have to send it to you. Yeah. Gives me the heebie-jeebies every single time because I am a naturally anxious person. So just watching that, I was like, ugh.
Well, see, that's the way I feel about watching horror films. I have the anxiety.
Okay. Well, see, what's so funny though is that I am the same way, and I'm also a very naturally jumpy person. Like, it's not like it takes a lot to scare me. No, I get scared very easy. I get terrified very easy. But I love that feeling. I love it. Like, there's something about that rush of getting like jumped, not like a criminal jump.
When you know that it's
yes,
you're
exactly.
Actually safe.
Like, exactly, like a controlled environment.
Yeah.
And that's kind of why I like haunted houses too.
Oh, I love haunted houses.
You do?
That was one of the highlights of my not like spooky houses for Halloween. You go on the tour and they jump out and grab you. I'm talking about actual,
like, for real haunted houses.
Yes, like places with activity.
Have you ever been ghost hunting?
I've not been officially ghost hunting. I've been on a ghost tour. Let's see, where did we go on the ghost tour? That was Key West on our honeymoon 6 bajillion years ago. It was incredible. My sweet husband knows that I am weird and enjoy spooky haunted locations. I also collect haunted dolls.
You collect haunted dolls?
I do. Yeah.
What? Do you have one you can show us?
I don't. She's upstairs, but she's from like the 30s, and I found her in a resale shop.
What's her name?
She doesn't have a name. She won't tell me her name.
Oh.
I had to paint her eyes because they were this milky color, and she was staring into my soul.
Absolutely fucking not.
No, she's so cute. Listen, if you're nice to them, they're nice to you.
Well, I mean, I understand that, but that doesn't stop the fact that it's creepy.
It is creepy, and I am always reluctant to tell people that I collect haunted dolls because then I get the look, but I do.
See, I personally, dolls creep me out, but I'm not like scared of them. And also, I just can't collect haunted things because I live by myself. Maybe I shouldn't be saying that publicly.
But see, you know what? If you collected haunted things, then you wouldn't live by yourself.
Fuck you, Amanda. Yeah, no. Yeah, no.
You would always have someone to talk to you?
That's horrifying. That is a horrifying thought.
Well, you just reminded me of a story. So my oldest.
Oh, let's hear it.
Okay, my oldest is he's going to be 21 tomorrow. My baby.
Oh
Tomorrow's
my gosh. There's no way you have a 21. That's crazy.
He's going to be 21 tomorrow. But when he was in diapers, this child was a precocious little fella. And he was an early talker. Like at 18 months, he was running around, full sentences. And we would go and visit my in-laws, and they had just built a house. No one has ever lived in this house before, so we had no reason to think that there was anything spooky-ooky about it. But it is on a lake, and, the land probably has some history. So he's hanging out, my little toddler guy, and all of a sudden he stands up. We're in the living room, and he points at the door, and he says, "I'm scared of that man. I'm scared of that man." And he said, I said, what man? There's no man. Where is a man? And he said, the man in the darkened door. The darkened door.
No, absolutely not.
And he was terrified. And he said, that man not going to come in here. So I saw nothing. So he goes to the back bedroom of this house and hangs out in the back bedroom for a little while. And then he comes back out. And we're like, is the man gone? The man in the darkened door is gone. And he said, yes, but now the man is in the heat. I was like, what? And he takes me back to this back bedroom and points down the air vent and said, the man goed in the heat.
No, fuck no.
Yeah. And every time for I would say a good year from that point on, we would go and visit the in-laws and he would still ask me if he was going to see the man in the darkened door again.
Are you fucking serious?
I'm serious.
So did y'all ever do any like land research?
No, I have not. I have no idea. I have no idea. It's just a hillside. It's in Guntersville, Alabama. It's, you can see the lake from the house. They have since moved. So
my friend, and I say this because, girl, everywhere in this fucking country is pretty much a graveyard, a cemetery. You know what I mean? Like,
if it's, it's Native Americans, it's Civil War people, it's whatever. Yeah.
Exactly. So my friend Alex, she lived in a house, and it was the very last house on a street called Hidden Hill. And I was like,
of course it was.
If that ain't right, of course. And then right next to her house was a fence, and the road continued up into like this like hilly forest area. And we had a lot of really, really weird experiences in that house. Like she's a very creative and artistic woman, and she had very interesting art hobbies when we were in high school. She's very, goth horror minded. So she would take cutouts of like baby magazines and like turn them into horror creatures.
Awesome.
It was insane. It was so cool. It was fucking sick. And so she had one because she outgrew them, as she got older, but she had one that she kept because it was one that she was just really proud of. And she had it hung up on her wall. And no matter what, no matter where she hung it, no matter how much tape she put on it, that same piece of art would always fall off the wall. None of her other artwork did that.
And what was it of?
It was of a baby it was basically like a baby monster that she had made, like a collage, basically. It was very cool. But she, there was another time where we kept hearing footsteps. She had like this roundabout first floor, where like and the stairs were in the center. So it was like the living room, and you go through the cut through, and it's like the laundry and the bathroom, and then the kitchen on the other side, and the dining room, and then the front foyer area. And it was late at night, and we just heard footsteps walking in circles down there, like around that whole area. So like we went down there and we checked the whole thing out, and we couldn't find a thing. And then all of a sudden we heard it walking upstairs right above us, which was in Alex's room. And we could never figure out what the hell happened that night. But then it was like 2 weeks later, a woman came up to her door and knocked on it. And she asked if she knew who the property owner was for the people that own the land behind the fence next to her house. And her mom was like, no, we don't know anything about them. And she's okay. She goes, well, they're about to do like bulldoze it and like dig it up to build on there. And she goes, and my family's buried back there. Like, there was a whole cemetery behind that fence that was unmarked.
That is some poltergeist bullshit.
Right. Exactly. That's exactly what I told her. I was like, bro, that was full on poltergeist. Full on poltergeist.
Did they dig up the cemetery? Did they end up doing it?
Yes, but they relocated the bodies.
Sure they did.
Right. It's what they claim. I don't obviously trust any corporation, whatever the fuck. But that I was like, dude, that explains every weird fucking thing we've ever had happen in that house. Like that was
insane.
I was like, those spirits were getting disturbed, and they were probably like trying to like communicate to the closest fucking thing that they could. I was like, that's crazy. That's crazy. Oh, I know Jenna's probably over there rolling her eyes because she's the skeptic of the group. So but no, like I was like, you need to do some land research because that's I bet you'd find some pretty interesting details on it. Have you ever had any supernatural experiences at a theater that you performed in?
There's always rumors, when you work in a theater, everybody's got a theater ghost. Every theater's got a ghost. If it doesn't, then it just hasn't been around long enough. But I know that there was one of the theaters that I worked at in Memphis. there was supposed to be a theater ghost, and we were striking a set and a gigantic stage light just about, I mean, narrowly missed my friend's head falling.
No shit.
Not during a production. It was a stage. It was a set strike. So, yeah, that was. But you know, I haven't had any like just really spooky theatery experiences.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think ghosts just don't like me.
That's her. They're like, she's not easy to scare. She's no fun. She's no
I keep trying to
fun.
invite them into my home. My dolls, you know, I try to make them comfortable, and they just don't want to talk to me.
They're over there like, chill out, lady. You're trying too hard.
You're trying too hard. Like, she really needs friends. I love her, but she's got a problem.
Yeah. They're like, man, she means well, but that's like the problem.
Maybe we should call somebody for her.
Right.
She's really lonely.
Right. She's starting to collect me as a doll. That's so. She's grown, you guys.
Because she's changed my outfit 4 times today.
You guys, we need to set something up for her in the divine.
Is there anybody that we can find to haunt her for a little while? She's so bored.
Right. Somebody new that needs some experience.
I don't know anybody that's like on the lower end scale of demonic.
Can we get somebody from the new hires?
The recently deceased.
The recently deceased. Somebody who's still reading the handbook.
Like, that's another thing I want to know. Where are the ghosts of people from like the 80s and the 90s? You never hear about those guys.
No, because I don't ever hear, oops, I did it again, or hit me baby one more time, playing ookily spookily in the air. And I'm ready for that. Or a little bit of Tears for Fears, you know? Like...
right? I know. I would be thrilled if the ghost of Prince would come and visit my home, you know?
I would love that, but Prince wouldn't love to visit me.
I don't know. I think you're selling yourself short.
That's fair.
Who knows what Prince is into these days?
Well, that's true. Maybe he's changed.
Maybe he has.
But on that note, I think we should leave the listeners off on the scary stories to really fit the vibe of the House of Horror. So I want to thank you, Miss Amanda, for spending the past hour with us. And giving us the insight to your crazy haunted doll collecting mind.
People are going to watch our film now and they're going to be like, that's the one she's nuts, you guys.
They're going to make up a rumor like she wandered on set and they just kind of like went with it.
She's not right.
She came with the house.
It's me.
Oh,
the haunts are coming from inside the house.
The haunts are coming from inside the house. Beautiful haunts they are.